Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back with another brand new video. Today's our video, as always, we are here to break down, react and discuss a game of football from Rangers this season, which usually means somebody's just had their scants pulled down and slapped silly, and by God was that no any different the day as Rangers just utterly steamrolled, controlled, dominated, any word you want to use. Rangers went ahead and did it versus Aberdeen as they came away with the scoreline being Rangers 4, Aberdeen 0. Now I'm absolutely buzzing to dive into this game, but before we do that, a bit of a cheap plug, but if you do enjoy the content, you do enjoy the channel, and if you want to help us out to hopefully one day reach 55k, hit that subscribe button, it's down there, it's free, doesn't cost you a penny, it'd be greatly appreciated. But something else that's greatly appreciated is this football team we are all having the joy and pleasure of watching, and full credit to the manager and everything, the coaching staff, the players for going out and day there, because what they're doing this season is absolutely frightening, because that's 21 games now played, 18 wins, 58 goals scored, 17 clean sheets and 0 defeats. Oh, it gets the plums pumping, people, just hearing that and saying that kind of stuff, because what we watched today was an absolute clinic by Rangers Football Club from the first whistle to the last. Not once did they lose control of that game like, oh, this looks a bit nervy. Not once. And this was against a team that was on a 6-match undefeated streak in the league. The second most informed team in the league, coming back for an international break, and that's what we did to them. Oh, it's beautiful. Now, I know Lewis Ferguson was missing from the game of football, but if you honestly want to sit here and say that Lewis Ferguson would have been in that back line for Aberdeen to slow down Rangers from slicing and dicing and creating opportunities, if that is what you think about this game of football, that's fair. Go and have a wee seat out there, let the football people have a conversation, because right now Rangers have so many attacking options and so many ways to hurt teams. It's frightening right now, and no one, not one team we've faced this season has an answer for it. And you know what, speaking of not having an answer, by the way, that kind of transitions us perfectly into talking about the skipper and in to this game recap, because going into this game of football, Tavernier was playing his 150th top flight appearance for Rangers, and did he no mark it with a pretty damn good performance, because literally from the first whistle you could see he was in the mood, and that form that was so bright before the international break was still there, because within the first 3 minutes of this game he originally gets stuck in with a bit of a tussle with the Aberdeen player, but brushes him to side, winning that individual duel. Then after he's won that, what's he going to do with the football now that he's a wee bit inside? Well, he just drives towards the box, waits, slips a beautiful pass to Ryan Kent in behind the Aberdeen defence, puts Ryan Kent one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but this time unfortunately Ryan Kent doesn't take his chance as he blasts it straight at Joe Lewis. But the way Tav carved open that defence, I went, oh yes. Now, where I was bitterly disappointed with Ryan Kent on that occasion, however, in the 15th minute of this game, did he no make it up to us all watching the game, as Scotty Arfield originally does very well to win the ball back, passes it to your man Ryan Kent, who actually kind of stops and waits for, I think it's Ojo that's coming towards him, invites the pressure in, and just when Aberdeen player's just about to get the ball, he drops the shoulder, flicks it in between his legs, man. Honestly, he's ripping the piss out of people. He pegs Ojo, sprints a wee bit into him till he's about 30 yards out, rifles a shot, it's inside the left post, there's limbs absolutely everywhere, people. And then when you see the highlight back, is there a deflection on it? Aye, but I couldn't care less. We went through so many years without players willing to have a shot from range, so the fact that we're now shooting from range, we're actually reaping the benefits of it, and it's definitely Ryan Kent's goal. It's an absolute screamer, and we're on our way 15 minutes into this game, and it was completely deserved about how the way started this game and how we were playing. Now, as we're all coming accustomed to this season, when Rangers do take the lead in these games, there's no sitting back, there's no foot coming off the gas, and there's no opposition growing into the game. Nah, it's more pressure, there's more aggression, there's more ruthless hunger to score more goals, and we should have been given an opportunity to score another goal in the 19th minute, just 4 minutes after opening the score, and Joe Rebo does wonderful to get it on that wonderful left foot, passes it in to Kemar Roofe. Now, I don't know what the hell happened here with the referee. But honestly, Ojo, who it was again, by the way, truly was getting spat on in that first half. He literally just ran up and swiped Roofe from behind. Not getting the ball, not making a play on the ball. Just swiped him like he's playing Bulldogs on the old playground, people. And I'm like, well, that's a penalty. Then I'm like, oh, the referee's just giving a wee bit of drama. Referee, ref. Honestly, I'm absolutely mind blown. And yes, we did go ahead and get a penalty later on in the game, and the moon howlers are moon howling about that. But look at that challenge, people. How was that not given as a penalty? That challenge right there will be hushed very quickly and swept underneath the carpet while they focus on Rangers getting a penalty from a corner late in the game. Y'all know it's going to happen. But thankfully, after that period, it was still mostly Rangers. Yes, Aberdeen had a couple of wee counter-attacks, but it didn't really come to much after a couple of slack passes from Alfredo Morelos, because we defended well, or Alan McGregor was there when we needed him. Then we defended the set pieces well. But honestly, there was not one moment in that game I went, my arse never clenched once. And this was against Aberdeen, people. I like that. Something else I like, by the way, is in the 29th minute I get to talk about CB number 1. My guy, Connor frickin' Goldson, who was at the heart of another Rangers attack with his quarterback-esque passes forward. He just floats a ball beautifully weighted inside. So I think it's just on the edge of the Aberdeen box, actually, but it's just over the midfield. And Kemar Roofe, you talk about the beautiful weighted pass from Goldson, but what a touch of quality that is. The touch to stop the body, then he's inside the box. What's he going to do? Well, he waits to the right angle till he's got the clear sight and goal. Then he hits it, and yes, the goalkeeper does get a palm to it, but he's sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. He's cut back on the goalkeeper. There's nothing Joe Lewis could do, and it's 2-0 to Rangers, and the party banners are well and truly out because we're cruising at that point. And you know, son, I was really gushing about Kemar Roofe because, believe it or not, he's still got his critics now. They're like, oh, can he do this? Can he do this? The kid can do everything. He's special, people, and he showed that with his goal. But I was still all happy, like sitting smiling, thinking about Kemar Roofe. Then he showed me that he can really do everything, because in the 33rd minute, after a bit of wonderful play from Joe Aribo, he hits a shot that's going in, but Kemar Roofe says, hey, I can't just score goals, I can stop them as well, because the big boy is there, and he stops Aribo from scoring. What a save, by the way. Best save of the day. Now, all joking in that aside, that does take us into half-time from a Rangers perspective. The only other attack that was meaningful to mention was actually Aberdeen's counter-attack just before half-time. After Morelos tries to switch the play, it goes straight to, I think, Hedges or something like that. Anyway, eventually goes as a counter-attack. Aberdeen end up winning a free kick at the edge of the box, but it's very well saved from Alan McGregor. And that takes us into half-time, and you're thinking to yourself, 2-0 versus Aberdeen, where we could and should be probably 4 or 5-0 up. This is utter alien to us, feeling this comfortable versus a team that has stung us in the past. I mean, before this game, Gerrard had only 4 wins versus the 11 games that he's played versus Derek McInnes. But you're sitting there at half-time going, I like this. But there's always that wee worry in the back of your mind because of the Rangers teams over the last couple of seasons that wasn't as good as the one we have right now. Even though we were utter control of that game, you're thinking, I just hope we come out the second half playing as well as we did in the first. And that's just burrowed into the back of your mind. But it brings me so much joy to be able to say we started the second half the way we started the first. And where we kind of mentioned Morelos, his passing was a bit slack in the first half, he was brilliant in the second half. Every pass pretty much connected. In the 48th minute, he showed his class, as well as he's actually in the edge of the box, and you're thinking to yourself, is he going to have a pop here after the ball gets deflected out to him? But he doesn't. He doesn't even have a look, but he knows Scotty Arfield is over there, so he outside of the foot passes it over to Arfield, and his shot that looked destined to go in is actually deflected out for a throw-in. But thankfully 30 seconds later, that little deflection changed in terms of our luck. After the ball gets flung over to Ryan Kent, who again shows his composure in and around the box as he's just waiting and waiting for either Aberdeen to make a challenge or that space to have a shot, but neither comes. So he actually gets his head up and just slips a wee pass to Scotty Arfield, who is there again and he's willing to have another pop. And this time, where it was deflected out for a throw, this one is deflected in to the back of the net. I don't care that it's a deflection. Scotty Arfield's there, he's dropping the salute, and the guy deserves his luck because he's always there and he's always willing to have a pop. And as we're actually talking about deserved, let's talk about the 51st minute of this game where we whip in a corner and the whistle blows and you're thinking, what is it? Points to the spot, iconic line, penalty to Rangers, and you watch it back. Considine actually has his arms round sort of wrestling / dancing with Balogun, almost like he wants to try and boogie with him. It's a clear penalty kick, well spotted by the referee, and you're just thinking to yourself, he's well had his coconuts roasted at half time. Because he missed a clear and obvious one in the first half, but at least he didn't miss the clear and obvious one in the second half. Now, it's a shame it takes 2 attempts for them to get their job right, but we end up getting one in the 51st minute, and the captain steps up, and he's just so calm, so composed, sends Joe Lewis the wrong way, and slaps it back in the net. 4-0, game, set, match. And that was quite clearly Derek McInnes's opinion on this game, because he knew he didn't have the players, he knew he didn't have the quality in that team to be able to come close to this Rangers team, because at 4-0 down, away from home, instead of making a couple of changes to try and maybe grow into the game, put a wee bit of pressure on Rangers, he actually pulled them off further and further and went further back as he parked the bus, protecting a 4-0 loss. Visionary work for Derek McInnes. But despite Derek McInnes wanting to shut up shop and just see the game out, Gerrard wasn't wanting to do that. He wanted more, and he wanted to put players on that could add more to the game, as Jermaine Defoe and Glenn Kamara first came on in the 60th minute, and that had Morelos sort of gone in a wee bit of huff as he went off. He thrown his gloves on the ground. Now, I didn't have a child, right? I didn't have a kid or that, but I think the love and the way I react to maybe Morelos having a wee huff and throwing his glove down is the same way a parent would when their child goes in a huff, because when he took his gloves off and threw it, I just went, aww. And that was absolutely hilarious, and so was the way we saw out the game of football. We just took the piss out of Aberdeen. We weren't interested in having shots and everything. I just wanted to try and rack up game breakers and see if we could try and break some records with the amount of passes we can do inside the box, because there was flicks, there was tricks, there was wee headers, there were backwards passes. It was a well and truly a bullying performance for Rangers, and again, I love that at Ibrox. And when you look at the stats now, 28 goals have been scored since we last conceded at Ibrox. It's well and truly a fortress, and that goes back to Gerrard's first day in the job. That is what he wanted to do with his football club, make Ibrox a fortress. And you look at that record, you look at what we're doing now after the couple of years it's took to build his squad to where it is. That's exactly what he's done. He's built it, and he's built an absolute wonderful Rangers team to watch. But that's it, people. There was only one other major opportunity in the game where it was actually a fantastic save from Joe Lewis from, I think, his own player from a corner. But that was it. As we said, game, set and match at 4-0. We saw the game out, we took the piss out of Aberdeen, and we made a statement once again by smashing another tricky fixture right out of the park. But aye, that is the game recap done and dusted, people. 8 clean sheets in a row now again for this Rangers team. We're defending as a team. You saw that with Jermaine Defoe coming back and defending as well. There's a real hunger and togetherness about that squad. You can't take anything away from this team anymore. No Diddy pundits can say anything about this team, because everyone buys into the same idea, everyone fights for each other, and that is why we're sitting there after that 4-0 win versus Aberdeen with the best start we've had in 53 years for a league campaign. Incredible, lads. So damn proud of the work rate, the effort and the commitment for the boys, and that is my biggest takeaway from the actual game. Another strong team performance. If I'm talking about man of the matches, again, it is a hard one to pick. A couple of players really stood out. I thought Tavernier again was excellent. I thought Connor Golton was imperious in that back line. I thought Scott Arfield was excellent in the game. I thought Ryan Jack, who was substituted off in the 55th minute, by the way, well done Gerrard, well done, was fantastic, intercepting everything. And I just look around that team and I say tick, tick, tick. But if you're twisting my arm or burning me, like I burnt myself there, by the way, cooking chips, belter, innit? If you're burning me for a man of the match, I'm going to go with Tavernier. Absolutely sensational again for the skipper. And with that being said, that is my man of the match. That is the game recap, and that is my thoughts and opinions on this game. Now all that's left for me today is hand the reins over to you watching today's video. I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are, what you're thinking, and why, and who was your man of the match. But as you guys are hopefully going ahead and do that, I will finish up today's video by thanking you for taking the time of your day. Take care of yourselves, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. All the best, and bye-bye.